You got stuff planned at the weekend, Ian? Is that what you're trying to say? You got a date?
Not with a date. I just really,
intruding.
after the last couple of weekends, I just want some downtime.
Oh, no, probably rest time, recharge, proper sort of...
Yeah, a lot of people said I'm a bit stupid for not booking Monday off work to recover. But then again, Milo's better half, well, one of his better halves had the day off, one of his better halves went to work.
So it's better half that went to work is
the girl.
It's the girl, yeah. So I was and then
the better half that didn't go to work, that had the day off, is the Italian.
The Italian.
Italy versus Poland.
That could be a country. That could be a country there. Italiland.
Sounds like a terrible theme park.
Just like a theme park.
Polarly.
Actually, no, it sounds like, it'd be a great restaurant.
Yeah.
Italiland.
Like fusion. A fusion restaurant.
A fusion. Yeah, a country fusion. Yeah.
Ooh. Can we get like pizza dumplings?
Polarly.
Yeah. Polarly.
The chat seems to have gone live. We must have people in.
Yes, Kerry's in there.
Bonjour, Kerry.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
I have posted on Discord as well.
Oh, Kerry says, surely that's a third, not a half. Or is Milo not considered a half? No, Milo's a fetus.
So what, a 1%?
Evening, Sue. Afternoon.
I'm not sure what rules and regs apply to me in that case.
Poor Milo.
It's a decent life being a fetus.
You never have to really worry about anything, do you? It reminds me of Scrubs.
Milo doesn't worry about anything.
Yeah.
Actually, apart from editing this show.
Oh, Milo! I would love to swap my life with you on for a couple of weeks and just learn how to edit an audio show. That'd be
the biggest stress in Milo's week is I need to find 10 hours to edit the show.
It all depends on how good we are on the night.
How good we are.
Take that in whatever context you fancy.
Distinctly average, I think, from history.
It can apply to many different things in your life. Perform on the night. Hey.
Exactly. They always say the better you are at something, the quicker it goes. So,
not always, Vasa.
I don't know.
Not always.
You find your stride and your pacing, you know.
They talk to me about pacing. I can't move at all at the moment. I'm like,
sorry, that's touching. I would say that's touching a nerve, but that's also.
I thought Mark was going to take a shot. Shots fired at you. Say, speaking of pacing, what were you playing last week with the edit?
Yeah. Oh, Francesco, Milo, Ian, Sue.
Okay, so Francesco's in the chat as Mister.
Mister.
Welcome
to the stream. Guten Abend.
Mister, are you Francesco or are you Mr. Mossum? Reply.
Mystery Riverside chat. Reveal yourself.
I think Francesco is the only one that changes his name every week. You are so right, Sue.
That is actually accurate, yeah.
Actually, sometimes he changes it mid-show. Mr. Schnitzel now. It is Francesco. Francesco and Milo had the biggest schnitzels in Germany.
Excuse me, Vasa?
Did I have to pay for those in cash? Did they?
I've had my fair share of schnitzels, but they were
good. Delicious. But Vasa was handling a rather large German sausage.
Yes, my sausage was most succulent. And I hear Milo's girl enjoys a nice German sausage too.
That can be confirmed.
Tonight on episode 197, as Ian proves to Milo on their German tour that cash is greater than Apple Pay, I am sat here wondering, what did I miss? But yes, I am joined by the one and only Ian Waterfall and Pogo Milo UK. Welcome back everyone to Incensed podcast. How you both doing then? Come on. Doing all right?
We're good.
We're doing very well, Masterful 27, and I'm
tonight
pretty
is Master
sure
27.
Yes, you will find out what happened at the weekend. What happens in Germany definitely doesn't stay in Germany.
I'd be very disappointed if it did stay in Germany. You know me better than that. I'm sure. I'm sure when Milo and Ian come together at a foreign land,
it's a beautiful thing.
Steady on.
It's a beautiful thing.
Throwing that phrase around with German sausage being consumed around.
Yeah, and not just Germany. What happens in central London definitely doesn't stay in central London.
This is true.
No, that's very true. Well, we have to make our way home, Ian. It's a bit like the those arrows on Dad's armour, we flee away, don't we? And go back to our parts and
Retreat.
bring a bit of London back with us to our areas that we live in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, guys. It was you certainly turned what looked on paper as a mediocre community into a bit of an event. So I am very excited.
I think a whole weekend, that's for damn sure. But how are you doing, Marky boy?
Oh, I am on top of the world, Milo. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good, feeling better, feeling a bit better. Just looking forward to having a chat with everyone tonight. Hope you all enjoy listening to this one because we've got quite a bit to talk about, which is refreshing, and it's not a news-heavy episode, so don't worry, everyone.
Have content.
We don't need news to have content. News is merely something that we can share in our own way. We create the content, and hopefully, 197 will be remembered forevermore as the episode that was full of fun stuff with a tiny bit of news.
Hashtag fun.
As I say, fun is in the building.
Well, where's the hat, Milo? Where is the hat?
Beat me to it, Milo. You beat me to it, Ian. You beat me to it.
That is a good question.
I don't think Milo's even got the fun hat anymore.
I think it's upstairs in my wardrobe.
Well, you're not fun if it's in the wardrobe, are you? You're only fun if you're wearing it.
Well, fun in the wardrobe.
In the closet.
Put fun back in the closet.
I'm Milo and I'm fun, but only when I'm in the closet. Oh, dear goodness. But no, this is going to be a good one tonight. So to our amazing listeners that have tuned in, this is the point where we ask you all to throw down your incenses, that's plural.
Oi, you sleepy sailors, it's time to drop your incense.
I always thought that was us continuing to laugh after that sound clip because it's a very good sound clip.
We should do better and keep the laughter going.
We need to keep it going. We need to keep it going for definite. But no, as Zoe says there, throw down your incenses and we will be sending you all the look out there. The reason we ask to use your ears whilst playing Pokemon Go is, let's just face it, it's the easiest thing to do. There's many senses that we can't also take control of whilst playing this amazing game.
We don't condone cheese and wine tasting while playing Pokemon Go. Use us instead.
Use us instead.
Nothing wrong with cheese and wine?
Never said there was.
Didn't say there was, but we want to be more involved in your participation of that said gaming experience. We do have a hashtag for you to share your amazing catches. If you are successful in doing so whilst listening to our show, we do have the world famous hashtag, which is, of course, Shinies of the Week.
Could you clarify the spelling?
I certainly can try to. It is SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. If you use that, Goat will be satisfied and it will help us find your posts a little bit more easily. So, there we go. That is the start of the show. We are going to jump straight into the bit that we've referenced already. I want to talk about Mankey Community Day. Usually this would be wedged somewhere in the bulk of the show, but
we can skip over it.
So we can skip over it. Nice. It would be cruel for me not to allow you to share with our amazing listeners certainly how we played the event. I've put on the paper here that I will start, and there's a reason for that. It's because mine was hardly eventful at all. So Mankey Community Day for me was a very simple affair. I have been recovering for the last week following a little operation I had last Monday. I still aren't able to sort of fully be out on my feet for any long period of time, but it is getting better, which is nice. But Mankey Community Day gave me an opportunity not to push myself too much, which is always grateful. So for me, it worked out really, really well. I played it predominantly pulling over in the car, checking areas of Pokemon, Mankeys, and then just doing that. Unfortunately, when you play it like that, you can't spin research tasks, too many of them. You're just literally focusing on trying to get a few catches. And I did that, got my best ever shiny Mankey, fully evolved it to Annihilate, which was a beautiful bonus, 96% shiny. Very happy with that. Got a few more shinies in the mix. Let's face it, it's not a Pokemon you need many of. And I think now one thing I can guarantee you is hardly anyone will really need them. And they're probably not really worth much in trade value now. So,
but wait, good news.
But wait. So it was very, very chilled out. I played it for about an hour and got something out of it that I needed. But I've got a feeling that it wasn't quite as a low-key an event for you boys. Ian, go on. What were you up to then for this lovely com day?
So, you are right. It wasn't quite as low-key for Whitfield and myself because the trend for the last couple of...
That's it.
Well, actually, we did, but I'll get to that in a second. Historically, for the last 2 years, we've done a community day abroad. We did Amsterdam 2 years ago. We did Barcelona last year because it was already
that was a
out
matter
there.
of circumstance, to
Yes,
be
but
honest.
it's still international. And
True.
this year, we decided we was going to do something, probably the craziest thing that we've actually done so far.
It definitely rivals driving to Amsterdam.
Yeah, so we got up at 1 a.m. We headed to Stansted Airport, jumped on a plane, flew to Cologne in Germany, Köln to the Germans, and decided we were going to play Community Day in the city of Cologne, which is it's a
Nice.
beautiful city and it's a very walkable city, very, very easy to navigate around. And we went there, we hooked up with a couple of our community members. Chris and Inga came down from Hamburg to play the day with us.
Patreon members of the podcast.
Yeah. Mark Volman joined us, and we also had
Dreamer Pogo.
Dreamer Pogo came over from the Netherlands.
Netherlands?
To play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Utrecht, isn't it? Is it Utrecht?
I think it's Utrecht.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere like that.
Wow.
So,
Which is a trek in itself.
Utrecht. Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Oh, that was completely unintentional.
So it was a good day. It was nice to meet up with the local community. The Puma, the local community ambassador there, put a meetup on, and probably about 20, 30 people turned up for it. And it was really nice to talk to the local German community. And of course, checking in gave us the new check-in badge for community events.
There's a community member or something,
Community
isn't
member,
it?
I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah,
And that is, again, I think you need 100 check-ins to actually get it
You
all the
do.
way to platinum.
you do.
And
We
there
got one.
was some
Well done.
special research to go along with that, some timed research to go along with that. So I'm not going to steal all the thunder, so I'll let Whitfield take over for a little bit. Otherwise, it's just going to be me droning on for the next 10 minutes.
Danke, Wasser.
Danke, bitte.
So, yeah, this was one of the more outlandish adventures for Community Day. We've actually been to a lot of places in this second half of 2024. Up to Ian for Poplio, then we went to Clarkson's Farm, then we went to Coventry, and we've trekked all over the place. We've actually done it earlier in the year as well. But this definitely, I think, takes the top spot as not necessarily being the most ambitious, because when you choose to fly, you can kind of work with the timings, but possibly one of the more, or it's up there as being the outlandish Community Day
It
choice.
was a long day, wasn't it? It was a
Very
really
long day. It required a getting up at 1 a.m.
And
something
then getting
like 1:30
home
in the morning.
door
about
to
11
door.
o'clock.
We left at what was about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
1:30
And
and,
then we
got
got back
back
about
about
11 p.m.
11:15 or so. Literally, what was that?
We were in Germany for 12 hours. We landed at 8:30 in the morning. We left at 20 to 9 at night. We was in Germany for literally 12 hours.
So it was a 12-hour session in Germany with a bit of travel either side. And I would just like to repeat what Ian said, is thanks to the peeps who joined us for the day, who travelled to come and join us in Köln, Germany, but also to the local community there. It was really lovely to chat with the folks there, and sort of just they welcomed us in. And it was actually a really lovely place to go and play in Media Park, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Which, you know, it has greenery in there, but it's also a more
It's a
urban
commercial area. It's quite an urban
space.
park, yeah.
It's a pedestrianised zone, really, isn't it?
Yeah. They've got like cinemas there, and there's a lot of there's a
Yeah.
little bit of industry, but it's very commercial there. But there is a very green element to a beautiful lake. It's a very nice place to play.
And I think the whole reason behind it is we looked, and, you know, to be honest, I didn't really care what November Com Day was going to be. Mankey isn't the worst thing we've seen this year, but it's definitely not up there. That's for sure. I don't know what my shiny total for Mankey was before this, but let's just say we didn't need any going into the event. So just seeing what you get was fantastic, really. We did 1 or 2 shadow raids along the way and just had a bit of a laugh with it, really, making the best of a long stint in Germany. And it was a very lovely town to walk around. They were prepping the Christmas market, so we got to see half-built Christmas markets.
Yeah, the Christmas tree was up and lit. The stalls
Yes.
were being
Yes.
built, in the progress of being built.
And obviously seeing the Dom as well.
Yes.
You know, a
Beautiful
very, very
Gothic cathedral.
The Ragnarok.
Dom the Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah,
he
he
there
was
we go.
Standing
yeah.
tall and proud in the centre of Köln. But actually, it's a really lovely city, not somewhere I've been. I know, Ian, you've been there many a times in the past.
Yep.
But the station's lovely, the bridges and everything, but the train tracks give you fantastic B-roll.
And we didn't really even hit the old town, which is somewhere I'd have loved you to have seen.
Yeah, I wish we'd
wandered
actually
into it.
ventured
That's
there.
where we ate. Was in the old town when we ate.
Ah, okay, so we sort of walked around there
So we
towards
kind
the end
of
of the day.
edged it almost.
Because there's anybody who's been to an event, like for example, Barcelona immediately comes to mind with the Gothic Quarter of that city. That was probably one of the best places to go and play that city safari zone in 2023. Old city or old towns within cities usually have a lot of condensed Pokestops and spawns and things because of how much history there is packed in there. Krakow in Poland, its old town is so good to play. So amazing place to go and visit. A fantastic day. And as we always say with these things, the Pokemon itself played possibly about less than 10% of a factor in it.
Really did, and I'm going to throw Whitfield under the bus now because this I was so proud of the little man for, to be honest. We only played 2.5 hours of the community today, and we thought, screw it, we're going to go and eat. And he didn't object.
I was hungry. Fetus has got to
He
eat.
only played 2.5 hours
Yes,
of the
he did.
Wow.
Well,
wow and wow.
Actually,
Well,
he played more than the
I'll
rest
say
of the group that we were
Vass's,
with. Yeah.
Vass's sort of sugarcoating it for me because I did have the lures on at the restaurant we were at and got a couple of shinies while we were there. So
Well,
one's called Schnitzel. It's my pride and joy from the day, the Schnitzel Mankey. Didn't really get anything too amazing. You know, I think 35 shiny Mankey is 35 more than we needed.
Yeah.
Nothing from research or anything like that, but thank you for the paid tickets, Texas, who gifted it. Honestly, it's this sort of thing where if the com day itself is a bit dead, and that is a repetitive theme through these community days, certainly in the last
few,
2-3 years, it's really come downhill to the point where you think community day isn't actually the most hype event of the month. It's very weird to think back to years gone by when it was the Converse, but making a day of something and doing something a bit more interesting makes a dead com day vastly better. And that was the case with
absolutely.
this one.
Let's score this out of 10 then. I'm going to score it purely for the event because I think that's what we've agreed. That's what we score these events on. But
do our best.
we'll do our best. Listen, I mean, if I'm honest with you, not a com day for me. Not feeling 100%, probably played into the hands of me not giving it too much attention, which is probably a good thing. So, but that was helpful. No shade on Mankey. I think it was quite nice. Annihilate was part of the research ticket as well. I thought that was quite nice.
Yeah.
It was easier to get with this community day mechanic.
Oh, yeah, true. Forgot
20
about that.
fighting type. That's all you needed. It's a fighting type Pokemon. So that's nice. So I think for that, it probably gives it a little bit more of a score. Yeah, I'd give Mankey Community a solid 6 out of 10.
Nice.
Now, I'm torn on this one because I normally do score an event on the event. But if I did that, I would be giving this community day like 5 out of 10. It wasn't all that. And I mean, it had a triple XP bonus. So anyone wanting to build XP on their road to level 50, it was a good opportunity for. But it was a good day. So I am very, very torn. I'm probably going to have to give it a 7. But the majority of that is heavily weighed to the actual day, the adventure, the people that we met and spent time with. I'm giving it a 7. But the Mankey Community part of it would only be a 5 if I was scoring it purely on the actual Com Day Mon.
Nice.
You're allowed to change your mind with how you score events because you are deprived of sleep. So I'm going to let you. I'm going to let that slide, bud, for this one.
Can I play the fetus card in the fact I don't know any better?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So Ian is very much right. And if we were going to score this com day as a community day solo, it would be something like a 4 out of 10. Mankey Shiny has been around for, I think there's
one of the earlier ones that were
there
released.
are cave drawings in the Pyrenees of it, I'm sure. So really, it would be low tier. I don't even know if the move Rage Fist is actually that good. It's probably a PvP thing on Annihilate, but I think I only evolved a Nundo just because I had it in my buddy stack.
Sidebar, he actually was doing
But-
PvP in Germany.
Oh yes, do a quest. We'll get that in after my score. That was hysterical. So my score would, like, for the whole day and experience, I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. It was such a good day. But as I said, Mankey plays a very minimal role in that.
Yeah, Mankey dragged my score right down. If it was a better Mon, it would have been a lot higher.
It was the adventure, the people, and the place, and everything of what we did. And I think it was personally, for what we did, I think it was a really lovely way to wrap up the solo com days for 2024. But on the note of that PvP thing, I don't know if Marky's ever seen these, but when we were going around Cologne, there were a couple of Pokestops that gave these green research tasks
There were
labeled
community tasks.
Meetup.
Yeah, meetup tasks.
And we're like, they're weird tasks. Like one of them was scan a battle code and battle another trainer.
No, make
and
a friend.
You had make a friend and things. And they're like, I've never seen these in London ever. I don't know if they're new because
I
of
think
the
there might
research.
be something to do with the actual check-in.
Yeah, was one
Possibly.
that eat a schnitzel with a local, was it? Was that one of the...
I wish. So you have to AR photo your schnitzel there. While we were waiting for our train, there was a stop that gave one of these mysterious tasks. So Francesco and I sort of decided, you know what, let's just scan and battle. And he decided to go for Great League, but he took in, 700 CP Pokemon. I took him a level 1 shinies.
Of course
and
you did.
What resulted was one of the slowest PvP battles I have ever seen, because he took in pink shiny Slackoths, which do no damage against even my level 1s, and I'm just there tapping and like losing the will to live. And we found that the reward for completing said task
It was a slack off.
was a Slackoth.
Brilliant.
And not a good one at that.
No, it was terrible.
Was it not pink, Milo?
No, it wasn't even pink. So yeah, it very much met its maker.
Francesco's just a top moment of the day.
It was very funny.
It sounded like you had a fantastic time. And like you said, I've got no issue with including the experience around a school, because I've done that in the past. And I think it truly needs the event to make you feel like
just
that,
a shame
doesn't
that
it?
Mankey was such a... I'm going to go out there. Mankey was a poor choice. I know we've got Wild Area coming up and it's the last community of the year, but Mankey was just such a poor choice of community day, man.
It's a bad choice, but the last 3, 4, 5, apart from Sir Waddle, of course, for Marky, but really for everybody else, the last 6 months or so of Com Days, in fact, probably all of 2024's Com Days have been atrocious.
With the exception of the Dragon Mon.
Goomy.
But even
Goomy.
Goomy wasn't. Yes, it's a hype Mon, great shiny, but it's not particularly good.
No.
So
it's
really,
not.
you're looking at the Alolan starters as the pinnacle of this year's Com Day. But you look back, we had Bellsprout, we had Chansey, we had Bounsweet, which is a new shiny, but God forbid it's a terrible Mon. I think this year has been really weak for Com Days. I mean, good luck everybody in December for the weekend.
The only saving grace is, and I think we've said this for the last couple of years, we are slowly running out of Kanto Mons.
Yeah,
Especially
thank God for that.
with third tier evolutions. So
There's still a few more in the barrel.
there's still a few, but I say we're slowly running out of them.
There's still some Magikarps in the barrel.
Until
to
the Gen
shoot
10
at.
comes out in a couple of years' time, and then they put some more Gen 1
Well, it's
tiers
not the
in.
worst shiny. I'm thinking Horsey will get a Com Day next year,
Why have you done that, Milo?
to be right in however many months' time.
He's just manifested that.
I'm
And-
manifesting the award ceremony for episode 3. Was it 300?
And when that comes to fruition, I'm going to blame you profusely.
That's all right. Blame me all you want.
I mean, let's face it. I don't mean it, but if that did come out as an event, that'd be pretty awful, wouldn't it, for a community day? Horsey, flipping heck.
Oh yeah, Kerry's just said Zubat. Can you imagine that Zubat community
Oh no!
day?
Don't even put that energy out there.
Caterpie community day.
As long as it has a cowboy hat.
I still want
community
Pidgey.
day.
I
Pidgey.
really still want Pidgey.
We've been manifesting this. Well, on that cheery note,
Yeah,
let's
done.
drop Mankey.
Done. Right, that's community day chat done. So we're going to go into a nice staple part of the show. I haven't put it at the start, but I've put it just after the good vibes for the intro. We're going to do some getting to know you.
Just tell me about you, mate. Just what's going on?
The motivation behind this getting to know you question actually came from watching an old episode of The Simpsons. Absolutely love The Simpsons. Simpsons predict a lot of things in the world. I always think that they're AI generated anyway, because I don't remember some of these things happening in The Simpsons.
AI is a dangerous game.
They picked the Super Bowl winners like the last 8 years, and I'm like, I think there was only one episode that had the American football Denver Broncos in it. So I think we don't believe what we necessarily see. But I drew inspiration from that. My question tonight, boys, is if you had the chance to invent a country, So you've found a landmass. It's on the map. It's on the globe. You can put a flag on it. You can name it what you want, and you can give a reason for doing so. You don't need to talk about the flag tonight, and that's put on a future episode if we run out of questions. Designing a flag. But my question to you boys is, if you had the chance to invent a country, what would you name it? And why?
This one I found quite difficult, so I'm taking the easy way out. My country would be called Apple Land.
Oh, for God's sake. Is it just a glass building?
It used to be really innovative and ahead of its time, but now it's just sort of kind of gone a bit stale. Is that Ian? Is that the reason for it?
Yes, you can't use any Windows or Android-based devices while you're in Apple Land.
And everything's very overpriced.
At least you can share chargers now with everybody outside of Apple Land.
They finally changed to use the same plug as everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Apple did conform, but they really stood their ground for a long time. But yes, I love Apple.
Land.
It's no secret. My country would be Apple Land.
Brilliant, Ian. I think this is a great one for the poll, actually, because there'll be so many people divisive on that. Love it. But that's a good one.
You'd have to become the biggest supplier of cider. That'd be quite.
Oh yeah, you could drink cider in Apple Land because it's made from apples.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Ian's flag would just be,
or just Schlur if we're going to be family friendly, non-alcoholic Schlur.
Let's go down both options. It could be a Hawkstone cider, or it could be a Schlur. So
Schlur.
There we go. And actually, I said I would pick this up off air last week. Guys, we've got a pub opened up near us, a new brewery, and they've got Hawkstone on tap in it.
Oh,
it's
absolutely smashing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Smashing.
It's a craft ale place, but we'll talk about that offline in a little bit more detail.
Sue just pointed out to me, apple cider in America isn't alcoholic, so it's only obviously our side of the
this is based on Apple Land being based in America.
Well, no, Apple Land is its own country. It doesn't have to be in America.
That's what I mean. It's
Which continent?
Yeah, well,
it's going to be in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
It's not on a continent.
We can keep this going. This whole line is
it's an island in the shape of an apple.
Next week, you're going to find out which continent you're going to be part of, and then the week after, you're going to find out what your flag is.
Flipping love this, right? God, this is what creators do. You know, we create, we just spin off each other.
Create landmass.
So, Milo,
I really liked this question just because it's so out there and different. I'm, of course, going to refer to a Family Guy episode.
What a surprise!
Yes.
Where Peter finds that his plot of land where his house isn't actually part of the United States. So he then names it Pretoria and ends up starting a war or something with America. So I thought about this a little bit. Maybe want to entice people to come and spend their money and have a good tourism industry. So I would name my country Excellent, but starting with an X. Excellent. Because that implies that everything is good and it's a fantastic place to come and visit. And hopefully that would entice.
I've just said there's a lawsuit coming away from Elon Musk. He doesn't like the sound of
having...
Excellent. There's a lot more letters involved in that one, so we're A-OK. Maybe it's a lowercase x.
Yeah. Don't want him to feel threatened. Okay, so...
Yeah, my country would be shaped like an X.
I'll be honest, I don't think Milo could ever threaten Elon Musk.
No.
Oh,
I'm a fetus, after all.
I thought you were going to call your land like Milo Land or something like that.
I thought it was like, what would you call it?
It would be like Krusty Land, wouldn't it?
Krusty Land.
I can't call it, Black Sheep Coffee Land. That wouldn't work.
Well, not anymore, Milo. You've ditched
Milo
that
doesn't
animal.
drink a Black Sheep Coffee, so I don't know where he's pulled that one from.
Excellent. And it also cast my mind back, Ian will know, to when Clarkson invented the 4x4 symbiote of a Mercedes SL, an old SL with a Land Rover Discovery.
Your land could be Clarkson Land.
Clarkson Land. No, I think that's actually a joke on a comedy show.
It's a country, it's not a land. I
don't know if you've ever seen Harry and Paul. Did a skit. They did a skit where they panned past the Isle of Wight and they found this car-shaped island. It was called Clarkson Island. And they had farms breeding Clarksons.
Anyway, Mark, bring us back to normality, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that, Milo. They are countries, not areas of land and districts.
That's why I didn't bring up the thing
Excellent.
of excellent, the country.
Land. So my one, I'm sure there's quite a lot of places that have similar traits to my new country, but it does link to Clarkson actually. It'll be full of farming on my country.
Farmland.
Yeah, actually. It's turning the labour of love from the ground of this planet into produce, and it won't have Tesco's on it, ripping all the poor farmers off. My opinion, not podcasts. Yeah, it'd be quite a nice, fair, lovely place. So I'm obviously come from the small village and moved back into some sort of a suburbanish territory, but I want to go back to my roots. My country would be called Ruraltopia. That'll be my country. It'll be Utopia is the paradise, so it'll be a rural paradise. Ruraltopia would be. The flag would have a cow on it, and it would be cow print.
Down that route.
It'd be black and white cow spots behind the cow, and we will be making any drink on it with the fruits and the vegetables that we can produce on it. So I think it'll be all right. Unlike Ian's not allowing certain people onto his country, everyone who appreciates good food and drink is very much welcome in my country.
But my country is genius.
It was. It's now kind of just dragging it out now a bit. But like I said, it was innovative at the beginning, Ian. Apple Lab when it was created. It was the envy of everyone else. Now it's kind of...
So I've created a country. Milo's just called his area of land excellent, and you just want a patch of
I don't know where
field.
the whole thing of just an area of land came from. My country would be called excellent.
So yeah, there we go. That'll be my one. So we've got Apple Land, excellent without an E, a Ruraltopia. As
I
our
like
three
we've all gone
countries.
different ways with naming it, though. That's actually good.
I do it.
Quality.
Fantastic. Well, that will form the poll.
All three are just
so,
going to be, except for Milo's, they're going to be blatantly obvious who's picked what.
well, that's good, Ian, because there's three of us. If our two are obvious, then they'll know the other one's Milo.
Exactly.
So it's a good thing. But no, we'll put that out to the poll, and we will come back to that one near the end of this show. But yes, I did promise you this isn't a news-heavy episode, but we have got some news. We've got an event in the lead up to the next big in-person event to see out 2024. Yeah, I'm not on about December's Community Day. I am on about the event that leads up to Wild Area. We have got the Into the Wild event, and we're going to talk you through all the details that we know.
Is the news.
So the Into the Wild event will start tomorrow. Monday.
Good news.
It's a good news. Monday, the 18th of November. It'll start at 1 minute past midnight, so not too long to go, and it will run all the way through to Friday. We've actually got pretty much a working week on this one. Friday, November the 22nd at 1 minute to midnight.
I love that 1 minute after midnight.
Yes.
Just to make sure it has started.
It runs for 23... It runs for 5 days... minus 2 minutes.
There you go. 4 days, 23 hours, and 58 minutes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Clocking off a bit early.
Punch your
Sounds like
time
a
card.
working week for Milo, that doesn't it?
No, Milo doesn't get up that early.
It's a tough fetus life. Anyway, your Pokemon debuts. Now, it's going to be a 10-kilometer egg thing, and it's first time globally available in Pokemon Go. Toxel, which is the baby form of Toxtricity, I believe, you will have an opportunity to hatch shiny Toxel. But, key thing to note there, no word on its rarity or other Pokemon that are going to stay in the pool. So do bear in mind, you may just continue hatching Carbink.
It's going to be rare.
Yes.
Yes, it will probably be very rare. But Into the Wild also has raids, and this is where you could choose to spend a bit of money or spend well, you are going to, aren't you, or not? But yeah, there is an opportunity to spend some money on a ticket. And for $5 or the equivalent price of ticket in your local currency, you can access event-exclusive daily time research of a raid-themed bonuses. Each day, trainers will receive a timed research that awards the following: 20 Pokeballs, 1,000
Wow.
XP, 2,000 Stardust, 3 Toxel Candy, and 1 Toxel Candy XL. So you're going to get this 5 times on this event.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100 Pokeballs. Well done. Good news.
Good news. You will also be able to enjoy the following bonuses, and that is up to 2 free raid passes per day by spinning photo discs at gyms. That's cool. 5,000 additional XP from completed raids. 1 additional candy from Pokemon in 4 5-star raids or Mega Ultra Beast and Primal raids. And please note that time research expires. There we go. We have to keep repeating this, is that tasks associated with each daily time research must be completed and the rewards must be claimed before 8 p.m. local time each day. So yes, not midnight or 1 minute to midnight, 8 p.m. So
That's a funky thing. Before 8 p.m.
So there is another ticket, which is the Into the Wild Hatch, which is for $5, surprisingly. And this will give you these following bonuses. Make of them what you will. Each day, trainers will receive timed research that awards the following: 20 Pokeballs, 1,000 XP, 2,000 Stardust, 3 Toxel Candy. This is just the same, pretty much, but you do get the extra bonuses of increased chance of hatching Toxel from 10-kilometer eggs.
1%.
It does say increase, it doesn't say by how much. 1/2 egg hatch distance, so you can buy more incubators and hatch more eggs. 2 times hatch Stardust, 2 times hatch XP, 2 times hatch candy, and 1 single-use incubator per day from spinning Pokestops. So you can be disappointed by not hatching a Toxel.
But at least you're getting your money's worth with those 5 incubators.
Both
over
of
the
those
course of the
tickets
week.
do give you the money you spend back in bonuses. It's fair
But
to say.
probably teamed with disappointment.
Yeah, on both, yes.
Yes.
As with the raiding timed research does expire on a daily basis, so all rewards must be claimed by 8 p.m. each day, and that's your local time.
And if you're really interested in both tickets, purchase the Into the Wild Ultra Ticket Box from the Pokemon Go web store. That's going to be exclusively there. You'll receive a premium battle pass and an incubator at no extra cost.
It's still going to cost you $10, but you're going to
get an extra 250 coins worth of stuff with this stuff, indeed. But moving on with this event, you will have some wild encounters, and we did talk through a lot of the Go Wild event area stuff itself. There's a lot of repetition here, let's just say that. Ivysaur, Bellsprout, Weeping Bell, Alolan Graveler, Magnemite, Magneton, Ghastly, Haunter, Mareep, Flaffy, Roselia, Gulpin, Luxio, Stunky, Whirlipede, Emolga, Fungoose, Dedenne, Grubbin, and the Todger. It's there as well. A smattering of those can't be shiny. Basically, all the evolved versions of Pokemon. Yeah, there you go. That's what's going to be available.
Yeah, it's very much a mixed bag, isn't it, that, I would say?
Yeah, I would agree.
it is a mixed bag. And we do also have raids, and the following Pokemon will appear in raids. Just to note that Pokemon appearing in 5-star raids each day will also be featured in a raid hour from 6 to 7 p.m. local time for 1 day each on the following schedule. So, Origin, we like to complicate events, don't we? Origin Form Dialga and Origin Form Palkia caught after raids during this event will have a chance of knowing their signature adventure effects moves. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Pokemon that don't have signature effect moves are the ones in 3-star raids. but Joe's side, in 3-star raids, you have Weeping Bell, Haunter, Falafi, and Chachabug, or Chargerbug. Chachabug. And these are the 5-star raids on each of the days during the event. So on Tuesday, November the 19th, we have Nihileo. On Wednesday, November the 20th, Tapu Koko, or Tapu Koko. On November the 21st, we have Origin Form Dialga. And on Friday, November the 22nd, Origin Form Palkia. And if you're lucky, you may encounter a shiny one.
That's a bit of a contradiction to how they labeled them in the season, or the whole month, actually, because I don't know if you remember when we looked at the article, it said that these Pokemon would have their raid hours, but Origin, Dialga, and Palkia were going to be featured in 5-stars from the 18th.
They did.
Through until after Go Wild. So as it turns out, Nihilego is the sole raid boss on the Tuesday, and Tapu Koko is the sole raid boss on the Wednesday. So a little bit of mismarketing or communication there.
Mischievous.
Mischievous marketing.
Mischievous marketing.
Could be worse.
And of course, there will be max battles for this event, and they will be the following. Dynamax Drillbur and Dynamax Excadrill will make strong choices against Dynamax Toxtricity and Gigantamax Toxtricity during the event. So, as you guessed it, yes, Drillbur will be the mon that is in max battles during this event, which we talked about a while ago, and there is a max Monday for Drillbur tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about Drillbur Dynamax in a bit. But your event bonuses, and my desk is standing again just reading this. This is great. The remote raid pass limit will be increased to 20 from Monday, the 18th of November to Thursday, the 21st of November. But then there will be no remote raid limit from Friday, the 22nd to Sunday, November the 24th. And apparently, this is really quite random, on Monday, the 18th of November, there will be an increased chance to get a rare Candy XL from Max Battles when challenging Dynamax Drillbur. I guess that teams in with Max Monday, which is either happening tomorrow or today or a couple of days ago, depending on when you pick up this episode.
Or last year, if you're listening to this in 2024.
Remember those Max Mondays? God, they die quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, to clarify, folks, eggs, those juicy 10-kilometer eggs, as focused on in the beginning of the article, the following Pokemon were hatched from 10-kilometer eggs. This is in addition to the Pokemon normally available in those eggs for this season. And it just has Toxel with may encounter a shiny one if you're lucky. Or not if you're lucky. Yeah, it does actually say if you're lucky, my bad.
It does for once. They've gone back to that.
But Toxel very much is just being thrown into the pool.
Yeah, let's face it, you're probably going to be hatching Carbinks.
I think you're sooner to hatch a shiny Larvesta than a shiny Toxel.
Or a Charcadet.
Or
Charcadet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Hopefully we'll be proven wrong. And collection challenges. There will be event-themed collection challenges. It does say they are coming. And if you complete those, they will be focused on catching Pokemon to receive encounters with event-themed Pokemon. So that's pretty standard. And field research tasks as well. They will be event-themed. If you complete the tasks, you'll be able to earn items such as Toxel Candy XL, Stardust, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon.
Yay. And it's nice that it says they'll be focused on catching, because we have had some horrendous collection challenges this last year.
Oh, yes, we have.
But as we alluded to earlier, Max Mondays, they're kind of a thing at the moment. And on Monday, the 18th of November, between 6 and 7 p.m. your local time, there will be... Yeah, we've already talked about this. Drillbur will be in your max battles, and you're going to want to do a few of these because you will need Drillburs, Excadrills to give yourself a fighting chance against Toxtricity when it's in Gigantamax and Dynamax battles.
Yeah, you need Metagross and extra drills, aren't you, for Toxtricity?
And apparently you can put a ground fast move on your Greedent, so the Squirrel could be good as well. But to round out, of course, there's web store bundles, but you have the chance to get the Into the Wild Ultra ticket box, and that will give you the stuff we talked about earlier in the article. However, there will be a Go Wild Area Global Ultra Ticket box if you haven't got the Go Wild Ticket Global thing anyway. And if you buy that, you will get an extra Incubator and Max Particle Pack and no additional cost. It could be worse.
Knock yourselves out.
Yeah, I love it. I love that they've gone back to these easy to follow events. You know, and each day you'll be able to understand it because it'll be a continuation for the previous day during it. Sort of format.
Yes, it's not convoluted at all, is it?
No. I mean, it's very simple. Monday we have a lot of Drillbur. Then Tuesday we have some Poison. Then Wednesday we have some Electricity. And then we have the two cash cows of Origin, Dialga, and Palkia, and then it's the Global Wild event.
Yeah, and the thing is, I will be raiding for Dialga because I really need the shiny. The problem is, it's only there for a day, and I'm working.
I'm burn so many coins on those things because no remote raid cap. Obviously, a big global event that is sort of the bread and butter of what happens with them.
If you live outside of Europe, please send me Dialga raids, because if I'm not working, I will be raiding this like stupid.
We should get some from Fukuoka this weekend.
Yes, hopefully.
Barside,
yes.
Now, boys, it's not like we've just mentioned Drillbur and Excadrill enough on this show, because currently, just about to finish, is the Simply Groundbreaking event, which very much focuses on Drillbur. It's actually the way that Dynamax Drillbur is coming to the game. First off, this wasn't the case when we read about the whole month as a whole, really, to begin with. It looked like it was going to be a Max Monday release only, but we're getting Dynamax Drillbur a lot more than we first thought. So this would have run from Friday through to Sunday of this weekend. And there's XL candy bonuses. Although the infographic said there was going to be boosted Drillbur shiny chance.
But you know what? I will have been battling this over the weekend because I don't know how many Max Monday battles I'll be able to do. But Saturday, Sunday, I do plan on doing a few of these because I really do want a decent Drillbur. And New York Go Fest, Drillbur loved me as a shiny, so let's hope that shiny look holds.
Yeah, well done, Ian. That's a shiny I still need his Drillbur, so...
I can hook you up.
This might be your weekend.
I'll hook it with a Venonat then, Ian. That'll be the trade to do. Shiny Venonat for shiny Drillbur. It's done. Preparation work for Into the Wild. Well, not Into the Wild, but the Wild Area event. You are going to need to use. You are going to need Drillbur. And someone like me, who's frantically collecting the mega particles every day where they can to just try and max out. Well, the only one I've got at the moment which is suitable is Metagross. So this, okay, the big squirrel might help, Milo. Very true. I'd rather invest some money or some time, I should say, and resources into a very good Drillbur. I think, and evolve it to extra drill. That'd be fantastic to get us well prepared for the big event. So. That's probably the highlight of this, isn't it? I know it's all focused around that, but that's pretty exciting.
It really is basically like a sort of just a lead up to needing.
It's a prep, isn't it, for Go Wild Area?
As things go, it's a perfect kind of prep event because, as we know, you have some opportunities. They would have been 1-star max battles, so you can do quite a few of them per day, even for free. Apparently, Excadrill could be shiny in the wild as well, which is quite a nice little touch. So that makes it a little bit more interesting. The wild spawns aren't too bad, I thought. If there was a shiny boost on Drillbur, that's great. There's candy bonuses, and it's just sort of going like, you need this counter to take on the big fish or big amphibian or whatever it is for the Go Wild Global, Toxtricity, Gigantamax, and Dynamax. We're giving you the opportunity and the tools to get some decent counters for it.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. This new system of max battles, it's not really something that you can be too precious about yet because people are sitting on them. I don't want to evolve them. I don't want to power them up. I want the hundo. I want the best. You're going to need to just work on the best that you have to prep for Wild Area because you may not have the luxury of waiting to get that. People will not necessarily be able to carry you if you don't actually prep for this one. So I think all of our advice would be power up and get set with the best one that you have because you are going to want the tier 3 moves on these mons. It's going to take some time if you don't want to spend real cash.
So that's exciting. I think for the Wild Encounters, stripping it back to bare basics, it'd be nice to see Rhyhorn in the wild again. And see Rhyhorn for what feels like a hot minute. That'll be quite cool. And Ian, I know you love a Crickle Top, so that'd be nice.
Well, I'm looking at the list, and the only Pokemon that really does excite me, and we do see Fampi in the wild quite a lot, but I still don't have that shiny.
Yeah, I still need it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hold on. Milo, you still need shiny Fampi?
I think so.
I thought you got one on the live stream. I thought when you did the live stream, when you were going to London, central London, you clicked on it on a spotlight hour, and you got it just before the spotlight hour started.
Marky remembers my collection better than I do.
That'd be a legend.
You are right, Marky.
Yeah.
2023, August.
But Ian, you're right. I still need another Fampi. They're not.
Yeah, okay. I need one as well.
Do they?
Another one. No, it's great, and there's some good Pokemon in there. I hope people are able to get there. Rhyhorn's a quality Pokemon when it evolves up to Rhyperior.
Vassapuff. There's a
Vassapuff.
Vassapuff's in the list at the top.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Is that the Dutch variant?
The Dutch variant. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I say this with love, and I mean this to our listeners. But if you're like me, a little bit behind the curve, and it might be you haven't been able to do Gigantamax Rage yet, there's a good chance if you are planning to play the area event, the World Area event, travelling to it to meet up with people, and I think that that'll be more likely that that'll be happening for this event, this is the time now where we didn't get this warning. To be fair, we don't really get taught a lot in the game. You have to learn it yourself. And like I say, I've learned a lesson. This is it now. Do your Dynamax battles, collect your particles. If you do walk 2 kilometers a day, get those 300 extra particles in there. Do these raids. They're easy. They're 1 tier. You can do 3 or 4 a day within your 800 MP limit on collecting particles. It's still 800, isn't it? On collecting
You can collect
particles.
800, but technically, I think
Yeah.
you can get just over 1,000. So you could do
I
4 a
think
day.
you can be tricksy and get
1080,
like,
I think, is what you can
I
get.
think it's no. I've seen 1,240 or something like that. You can, if you do your points from the stops and then double stack the walking, it can work out some way.
But in short, you only need to get 3 decent Drillburs, evolve them. If you haven't done anything to this point, get them, find them, do it every day, and then with the MP you store it once you've got 2 or 3 solid ones, as Ian said at the beginning, power up those moves. Start left to right on your screen, level 1, level 2, and then you're more than likely, if you're a newer player, only be able to maybe do level 3 on the first 2, or maybe the first one, because you need to start using Candy XL at that point. But if you turn up with them, you've got a chance of contributing to a Gigantamax raid, and that's all what it's about. That's all what it's about.
Move away from Dynamax Drillbur into actually doing Dynamax Drillbur IRL. The Into the Wild, like week-long lead up, quickly out of 10 on paper. What do you think, Vasa?
So I'm not seeing an awful lot in this event. Simply Groundbreaking is purely a prep event for the wild area. The Into the Wild event, it has a few things to offer, but nothing really that jumps out at me. Yes, Dialga and Palkia are a good pull, but for those people, and that's the majority of the player base that have to work, I certainly won't be able to raid them during sort of daylight hours. I might have 2 or 3 hours in an evening if I'm lucky. I don't think I can give this higher than a sort of 7, to be honest.
I guess it's a matter of sort of opportunity, really, because, weekdays are not for everybody, or not for majority. I would concur with you and give it a 7, really, the whole thing, because, as we said, it is mostly a prep event, really, to get you prepared and ready for the Gigantamax and Dynamax Toxtricity. The wild spawns with the Into the Wild event, really, I won't be aiming to get any of those. I prefer the stuff that's in the Simply Groundbreaking, obvious. Like, oddly, that's better in my view. But in terms of a lead up, it's very heavy on the monetary aspect when you're leading up to an already very heavy monetary weekend. You'll have Toxel in those 10Ks to try and draw you into incubators, and then it's very raid heavy, like 1 raid boss per
and 2 tickets.
rotation.
That's $10 before you start.
2 tickets on top of the Go Wild ticket, which I think is $12 anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a very expensive week for a global event, plus then your own monetary value, because, of course, hey, love the reduction
raid
of
cap
all-
lift. People are just going to be,
Love that. Personally, really, really love that. But it is an expensive way to play, which is where you have to really channel and think. So, I give it a 7, to be honest, as well. What about you, Marky?
For me, I'm looking forward to doing the Dynamax raids. Absolutely. I think they'll look pretty lit on screen when they're Dynamaxed up with their little red glow around them and their little squiggly bit on top of their heads. I think it'll look absolutely fantastic. For me, I know what I'm going to be doing on this event. I'm just going to be doing what I've said already. I want to turn up to this Wild Area event prepped. I want to be part of the Gigantamax raid squad. And I want to know that I've got 3 Pokemon that can do what they need to do. And that, for me, is the motivation to get the most out of this event. As someone who's starting a little bit behind the curve with getting a squad of Pokemon ready. And the thing I'm pleased about with Toxtricity is that you don't need any of the starters to
Yes.
have it, which is fantastic. So probably all I'm going to be doing on it, but there's no shade on that. So I'll give it a solid 7. For me, that's really good. Something that actually has a purpose leading up to that main event. And I need Shiny Drillbur. So if it's boosted,
There we go.
who knows? Who knows?
Dynamax.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So we've mentioned a couple of the Pokemon as part of the event. They are obviously going to have a day each in the lead up to what's coming. But we think it would be only right that the counter bros dust down their guidebooks and share with you how you guys and girls will be best prepared to take down Origin Form Dialga and Palkia.
First of the duo we are going to talk about is the Origin Palkia form, which is a dual type Water and Dragon, which means it only has 2 weaknesses. dragon and fairy types.
And the CPs that you're going to be looking for on this bad boy are 2367. That's going to be your standard, or weather boosted 2958.
So we're going to start with some of the counters. It feels quite, I feel like rich pickings here. I can go first. Rather nice. And do you know what? I am going to go straight to the top on this one, because your best counter, if you want to take down this Pokemon, is Mega Rayquaza. And that is with the fast move Dragon Tail, a charge move of Breaking Swipe.
And there is a very, very long list of dragon types. So I'm going to throw out the only other Mega that isn't dragon. You could utilize Mega Gardevoir if you so choose. Charm and Dazzling Gleam on it will just about do the business.
Yes. Can't disagree with you one bit. But I am going to stick with the dragons, but I'm not going for a Mega. The best non-Mega legendary that you can take in against Palkia Origin Form would be its bro, Origin Form Dialga, with Dragon Breath and Roar of Time.
Roar of Time.
Yeah, if you want to do, if you want to like reunite families as well, there's an opportunity here, because one of the ones back in the list, back to Dragon type Pokemon, is you could introduce, a bit like Long Lost Family, isn't it? You could introduce Origin Form Palkia to itself, Origin Form Palkia. It'd be like reuniting long lost twin brothers or sisters. But yeah, the 7 on the list is Palkia Origin Form with Dragon Tail and Spatial Rend. Let's make sure you get that, eh? Oh, that's the one you want.
Fantastic. Some way down the list, it was a legendary.
I know where you're going.
Do you know where I'm going? I'll be very interested to find out if you do. But you could drop in Xerneas.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Geomancy and Moonblast. I believe Geomancy is a legacy move, so you would need to Elite Fast TM that on, but it was a legendary Ray boss not too long ago. It is some way down the counters list, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, and some way down the counter list also is the one I actually thought Whitfield was going to jump on, actually, because it's a great Pokemon. Primal Groudon is a good counter for this bad boy with Dragon Tail and Precipice Blades.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to bring in Zeki's also credible with Dragon Breath and Outrage.
Now, it has had a Community Day Classic this year, 3 different versions of it that you could utilize, but I'm going to suggest rocking and rolling with Mega Salamence. Obviously, you only have 1 Mega, but if you have a little squad of Salamence, Shadow or Normal, Dragon Tail and Outrage on those mons will do real nice.
Yeah, and I'm going to go right towards the bottom of the list here. If you have nothing else in your life other than a Switch and Pokemon Go, you could take in a Goldengo with Hex and Dazzling Gleam. I wouldn't recommend it because it's right at the bottom of this counters list, but if that floats your boat, then okay.
What kind of boat?
Yeah.
And swiftly moving on to the counterpart, Origin Form Dialga. Very much worth it, quality shiny. Now, Dialga is a dual type again. It's Steel and Dragon, which means, again, it has 2 weaknesses, but they are very different. Fighting and ground types.
That's right. And if you're looking for that 100% CP Mon, the numbers you're going to be looking for are 2337 or weather boosted at 2921.
I like this one, to be fair. I'm going to go straight at the top again. I do like Lucario, but Mega Lucario is on paper the strongest counter with its double fighting moveset of Force Palm and Aura Sphere.
And I'm going to jump in with a mon that we have been talking about a lot tonight, and it's featured heavily, but Excadrill Shadow variant. Mudslap and Scorching Sands is a very, very high DPS mon.
Yeah, another Pokemon that's been featured quite a lot this year is Lucario. And if you have a good one of those with fighting moves, Force Palm and Aura Sphere, you know what? It's not too shabby.
Yeah, I'll go from Pokemon that have been featured quite a bit to one that's probably not had too much focus this year. Great fighting Pokemon is Terrakion. Terrakion with Double Kick and Sacred Sword. If you've got any of those lying around, they're decent. That ranks highly.
I'm going to put this in to be annoying. Very unlikely that people have this one, but if for some reason you have a powered up Keldeo, Low Kick and Sacred Sword on that, I think it's like a mythical, isn't it? It was only available once through paid research. So if you have one that's good and powered up, you can use it, but it's still some way down the list.
Yeah, and I like how Pokemon Go Hub, yes, naming our source, just put in brackets, ordinary form. Because that's currently the only one we've had.
And by the way, it is 11th in the list, so it's not a long way down the list.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
It's not top 10.
No. Well, speaking of top 10, if you have what we call a Joe, a Landorus Alpha, you could take that in if it has Mudshot and Sansear Storm.
Well, I'm going to pick one a lot of people will have is Rhyperior, ranks at number 30. Rhyperior, hopefully, it's had com days. People have had chances to sort of evolve a few of these, but Mudslap and Earthquake are a dual ground move set for that one. Probably one that's a little bit more easily accessible to the majority of players.
Definitely, and I'm going to try and play a smart pick with this one. If you use Mega Garchomp, very good counter, Mudshot and Earth Power, which is a Community Day move, I believe. However, it is Ground Dragon, which means you will also be able to get the Dragon Catch Candy boost if you use it versus Dialga and Palkia. So you can get yourself a little bit more resource from it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be anywhere near as clever as Milo, but I just think a funny Pokemon you could take in against it is Lopunny, which has a Mega, Double Kick, and Focus Blast.
Fantastic.
Ian, you're brilliant.
Fantastic.
Absolutely love that. I'm actually just going to say how it is. Use the big bunny. There we go.
Use the big bunny.
Absolutely. There we go. Great Pokemon to have back, and I think there'll be a lot of people needing something from raiding those. I certainly do as well. So, it's all leading up to that, which is very exciting. But we're going to lead up to a section that is a staple part. I always say that's a staple part of the show, but it's our favourite part of the show because it allows you, the listeners, to get involved.
Shinies of the week.
I'm jumping straight onto X for the first one. Zophie13 has just posted Smoliv Spotlight Hour. Oh, happy day. I got 2 shinies, 1 wild and 1 from the Incensed. Well, of course you did.
Nice.
Hashtag Shiny Smoliv, hashtag Shinies of the Week at Incensed Podcast. Yeah, the one that was caught was a 573 off the Incensed, but I love the cute little 34 CP Shiny Smoliv as well. Well done, Zophie13. I am, of course, envious of you. That's brilliant.
Yes, and next up we're going to jump to the Incensed Campfire, and CeeLo posts caught my first XXS shiny whilst listening to the pod. I've wanted one for so long since I keep getting the XXL ones, and CeeLo got the XXS with a height of 0.4 meters Machop.
Tiny shiny.
And it is tiny. It is tiny. It's so funny. Well done,
Adorable.
GG's.
Tiny shiny. I'm going to jump into our Patreon exclusive Discord. Mally, aka Malcolm, has posted, "Oh my god, just started my daily incense and this shiny bird popped up." And he's nabbed himself, like Vassar and me, the Galarian Articuno shiny.
GG's.
Very, very nice indeed. Looks really good with that lighting as well. So, yeah, Malcolm, big congrats, dude.
Well, I'm going back to X, and Beep Boop
Great name.
has got a great one. Beep Boop, absolutely brilliant. So this one caught my eye. So at Incensed Podcast, hashtag Shinies of the Week, got this with my pal who also had a shiny Moltres spawn at the same time. Big up Kalian Gun, Moltres and Zapdos Steez. Yes, Beep Boop has managed to get, so that's at Beep Boop 20, has managed to get off the Incense, obviously daily Incense, a shiny Galarian Zapdos.
Nice.
Fantastic. With the CP 1972, which caught my eye, because for those people that pay any interest into my interests outside of Pokemon Go, was the year that my beloved Leeds United won their one and only FA Cup final. So well done, shiny Galarian Zapdos. Beep Boop. Great name.
I think that's also the Hundo Raikou.
And jumping back onto the Incensed Discord server, bronze tier patron JCST posts this bad boy. Maybe someday interesting enough for PvP, but for now, just thrilled to get my first shiny rolls. And a shadow at that. And it is a 1-star shiny rolls. And it does look like it's got pretty much PvP style stats. Try saying that with a mouthful.
Of apple.
An apple land. And we're going to wrap up back on X with Mark Bailey, who was replying to our, I think, Mankey Community post saying, nearly 100 people turned up in Derby and nabbed 3 hundos that were called out on that day. Cut it a bit short due to some rain. Very understandable. Noah managed 31 shinies plus a shiny Chansey before. Jonah managed a 98 shiny Mankey too. Pretty good overall. And Mark Bailey nabbed himself 32 shinies, I believe that is, for Mankey. So we had to throw some Comday goodness in there. Congrats on the win, and lovely to hear of a big turnout.
Yeah, and shout out to the
Monkey.
Derby community. Brent, the community ambassador, is doing a lot of really good work, and the community really is growing. So yeah,
great to
keep
hear
that growing. We might even come up one day. You never know.
Yeah,
It's near Nottingham Whitfield. It's not
2025. Yeah.
So love it when our amazing community and listeners get involved in the show. Also, we'd just like to say a big thank you to everybody who entered our giveaway competition. Yes, as you listen to this, we will have contacted those lucky people who entered. It's just nice to be able to give something away, wasn't it? Hashtag sponsored and all that. But yeah, hopefully 5 of you are a little bit happier as you listen to this show.
And actually, I'd just like to throw in there, yeah, well done, and thank you to everybody that has entered. But also, name and shame, a lot of people didn't understand Milo's pronunciation of the keyword.
Which I thought was questionable. I thought I pronounced it incredibly clearly. It was nothing to do with global warming. Or
yeah, nothing to do with the climate. We knew what you meant, so we actually did give you entries. But yeah, there's nothing to do with the climate.
Or something else.
Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, we all want to thank you all for taking the time to that. It does mean a lot. It's lovely that we're able to do that. And like I said, enjoy that little gift if you were lucky from us here at the Incensed podcast.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
And hopefully we'll be lucky enough to be able to do more giveaways in the coming months.
I won the game last week, but I have passed the Game Lord mantle on to Savasafal. You are, well, we can all actually take part in this, which is handy. So, Ian, what are you picking for us then?
Well, I'm not picking anything because you actually defined the game in the show notes. So,
behind the curtain,
we're playing a classic.
Chasing the tail, chasing the tail, tail to chase. It's chasing the tail.
Because if I had picked a game, we talked about this extensively at dinner. It would have been the German version of Name That Pokemon. Anyway, we are playing, yes, the classic, the fan favourite, the game that everybody that we meet seems to love and seems to know the podcast for. Yes, Chasing the Tail. It's a word association game, and that is around the names of Pokemon. The first person that will start will be myself, followed in the following order of Milo and then Mark. And yes, we're going to keep it super simple. The name of the Pokemon that you say must begin with the final letter of the previously named Pokemon. Extensive pauses or stutters will lead to a... And also repeats will lead to a... And there can be only one winner. So, boys...
But many losers.
It's been a while since we played this one, but Whitfield... We are starting with a Pokemon that was talked about an awful lot over the weekend. Pyukumuku.
What was that ending? Uxie.
Elekid.
Dialga.
Ambipom.
Mankey.
Yamask.
Yamask.
Klefki.
Oh, why have you done that, Milo? Ivysaur.
Riolu.
Is that you? Unknown.
Nincada.
Ampharos.
Sewaddle.
Eevee.
Excavalier.
Reshiram.
Morpeko.
Ooh.
Omanyte.
Ian, slow down!
Electabuzz.
Zekrom.
Mimikyu.
Urshifu.
Oh, what? Uxie?
So we said Uxie.
But it's a
already.
repeat, I'm afraid.
No!
But he would have been right with the right letter, so that's a Nick special.
It is. Nick did say that. I remember him saying Urshifu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marky.
Now don't you worry about it.
Trainer tips arrived in my head.
Right. Hold on, boys.
It's a Mexican showdown.
He's going to find a Gen 8 Pokemon that's not in the game.
No,
Come
I'm
on.
not. Why would I do that to you?
Google
Come
it
on.
so people can see you working on your computer.
You wouldn't do that to me, would you, boys?
Which Generation 10 Pokemon are first?
No, listen, I'm not going to be that cruel because it's not fun.
No, because you do that to me, then Milo automatically wins.
That's what I mean, Ian. I've got to be a bit more clever with this. So, Ian, my Pokemon for you is Mewtwo.
Star.
You could, save yourself. Rampardos.
Sylveon.
Ninjask.
Kecleon.
Nidoqueen.
Noibat.
That was a long one. Goodness me. Terrakion.
Another N. Noivern.
Another Ren. Nidoking.
Golett.
Tyrantrum.
Mankey.
Had Mankey.
Repeat.
Oh!
That's good though that it's only repeats.
It's really
Yeah.
good. No one had a mind blank.
Oh, I almost did.
You're very lenient because you're quite tired today.
Quite tired. I worked
Quite
out how
tired.
much
You were
sleep I had over
firing
the
that though,
weekend.
Ian. You were like, I'm like,
I'm like, yes, star. But there we go. Chasing the tail makes us think about which
Chasing.
plushies we have in the background. I'm not sure we listed any actually in the background.
didn't.
No.
oh, Mimikyu. You had Mimikyu.
Oh yeah, Marky's got one ticked off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it though.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Mewtwo.
I should have
on-
just
on-
looked at my
there's Mewtwo
screen
on
and said
your- on your booster
Snorlax.
deck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, true. Marky's
Yeah.
got all the backdrop.
all the backdrop.
But you would have, but they're all just stacked on top of each other.
Well, we find ourselves in a predicament is that once again, I'm the game lord on my own show.
Which means you're probably going to sub it out, aren't you? Let's face it.
No.
No?
I'm going to do something that I did earlier in the year.
Oh no,
You
not the
wait and see,
drunken
boys.
version of What the Ducklet.
No, even better than that.
Is it?
Is it? No.
Is
Yeah,
it?
no, it
you
probably
came
won't
up with
be.
the Gade, you pitch, we...
I don't. We're not dragging that out of
That should never ever be brought back to anything, Ian. That
not
show.
being brought back.
That's just going to be
At
erased
all.
from existence.
It very much
Never
has
happened.
been. Don't worry, I'll leave the surprise up for you guys.
Redacted.
Yes.
And yes, it needs to stay redacted. So we've just finished the Harvest Festival event, boys, and let's just keep this really top line because I think the Harvest Festival pretty much spoke to itself. It saw the release of Shiny Smoliv, Mark's new favourite Pokemon, and that's pretty much about it. So let's have a couple of minutes. How did we find the event? Did we get the Shiny Smoliv? And yeah, was it worth your time, effort, and sanity?
Harvest Festival event, really enjoyed it. You know, one of my biggest sort of things I was excited about going into it was the accessibility of the new Shiny, and this event didn't disappoint. The Catch 10 Pokemon field research tasks seemed to be pretty common, and also coupled in after it, we had a spotlight out tonight as we record it. So all sandwiched in very closely together. Unfortunately, despite my best efforts, and I really did try and give it a bit of a go, not that I could move too much during this Harvest Festival event, I struck out on the Smoliv. You know, the ticket brought quite a lot of nice encounters, actually quite a lot of encounters actually for Smoliv, which was quite nice. Did get a hundo, and I won a showcase with my XXL Smoliv, so that was lovely. Damn them, they could have had their costumes a few days earlier. I managed to get a couple of new shiny pumpkaboos that I needed. So that was nice. Would have loved them with their little festive, spooky costumes, but nonetheless, they were the ones that I needed in terms of sizes. So I've managed to evolve into some Gorgeists that I needed. So yeah, all in all, really thoroughly enjoyed this Harvest Festival event. I thought it was actually pretty damn good.
This event sort of didn't really offer much, I've got to be honest. It really didn't seem like Smoliv was around at all. Day one saw quite a lot in the wild and, you know, quite a few coming off Incensed. The Catch 10 Pokemon task I actually found really quite difficult to find.
I found them quite difficult to find in my area.
There was a lot. I mean, certainly over the whole event. I mean, we've played the event in 2 different countries. It's an unusual thing to be able to say, but I found actually a greater number of non-event research tasks than event ones, but I think that carried through for the whole event, certainly from what I saw. And then the vast majority you saw were the Pumpkaboo tasks of use 5 or 10 different berries, which I'm like, whatever.
I was just binning those tasks, if I'm honest.
Same.
Have you completed your shiny Pumpkaboo families then, have you,
No.
boys?
Nope.
Is that... Oh,
Nope.
no.
So this is the other thing, is Pumpkaboo supposedly was shiny boosted. Now, we know shiny boost, 1%, whatever. And I think hysterically, when I saw it online, again, it's like people doing their own math. So it's not potentially got too much stick in it, but people did some calculation of how many shiny Pumpkaboo were reported versus how many were checked across a group of people. And apparently the shiny boost was 3% for the first day.
It's not
So
exactly
we weren't far
similar,
off,
though,
yeah.
is it? It's not.
We weren't far off.
Yeah.
As I said, take it with a pinch of salt, but apparently then it did improve and got better. We each got a Pumpkaboo, Ian, at least, I think, didn't we?
The funny thing was, we again rewind to Germany. We'd arrived in Germany. We'd had a quick walk around the city centre. We want some breakfast, so we went to a little cafe, quite a posh cafe actually. It was really quite nice.
It certainly looked like it.
And we sat down. We ordered our coffee, and Whitfield gets the shiny Pumpkaboo. And then about 5 minutes later, I'm just tapping away, and then I get a shiny Pumpkaboo, both in the same restaurant within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
Well, that might be the same time I clicked on mine at home, and maybe we all got a shiny Pumpkaboo at the same time.
Was it Sunday? Oh, I'm trying to think of the time zone difference.
We met Volman at 10:30, so it'd be about 10 o'clock.
So it would have been at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Sadly, not mine was in the evening, but that would have been lovely to have thought that.
That would have been
wouldn't it?
nice. But it connects across however many thousands of kilometres. But the way that this event finished, and I think they've done this a couple of times with the new shiny release getting a spotlight hour at the tail end of the event, is one of the most quality things I think they can do for an event. I went out and was just shiny checking for the Smoliv and managed to pick up 3 in the spotlight hour,
Whoa, Milo!
which was incredibly lucky, with about 600 checks in the spotlight hour. Literally just shiny checking. I wasn't catching it much. Apart
But
from
there's
the
a reason why
XXLs.
you're not catching them, isn't there? Let's spill the beans, Sunshine.
Okay, yeah. I'm very, very close to 600,000 catches in the game. And I would quite like it to be something nice on the Go Wild Global. So I'm like taking it very easy on the catch front for the next week and a half.
So he was trying to figure out how we could do Spotlight Hour and Raid Hour without catching anything.
Yeah, without
So how
catching
close
much.
are you, Milo? You're about 100 away now, are you? You're so stupid.
No, I'm 272 catches away. But I'm sort of giving myself a little bit of room. I know I've got to do raid, I've got to do some event stuff, whatever, Dynamax Drilber, and then we get into the raiding game. So if it's going to be a shiny or something, that'd be quite nice. We'll see how that goes. But I thought the whole event itself, it looked really good on paper, and it could have been a bit better if Smoliv was more available in the wild. Don't necessarily mind a rare research task, because it kind of feels like you are having to chase something. But from day one, where you could find Smoliv, the rest of the event, you barely saw it at all. And we even put down mossy lures when we were in Germany at the cafe and saw a grand total of 3
or
maybe
4. It wasn't many.
And that's 3-4 lures running for half an hour. And you think,
We saw more Snorlax than we did.
yeah, and they were
Snorlax was
boosted.
there, yeah,
That
Snorlax
and the
was
Lone
good.
Executor were boosted to come off of those mossy lures, which are nice little touches, I thought. But it's that thing of it felt, I don't know if it's true, but it definitely felt like Smoliv went from being more readily available to suddenly rarer in the event. But the Spotlight Hour was a class way to wrap it up.
I'm lucky, and Ian's probably going to mirror what I say, Milo. I'm lucky that I don't get to experience the differing spawn rates in events for Pokemon. We're just grateful to play it when we can, and we kind of see what we see. We haven't got that ability, have we?
It's that sort
Do
of
you know what?
observation.
10 a.m. on day one, Ian. I noticed there's more Smolivs around.
Yeah.
Than
And to be
2
fair,
PM.
99% of actual YouTubers don't actually experience it either, because most of them will just go and play the game for a few hours, make a video.
Truthful.
Yes.
There for the experience.
But then again, he's got the family complete, hasn't he? So he's done well there. The boy's done
Spotlight
well.
Hour, chef's kiss at the end of the event.
has done well.
What about Vassar, apart from the shiny Pumpkaboo from Germany? What else would you think?
Well, yes, Germany was actually quite good to me outside of Community Day. So I echo everything that Milo said. I did find that the research tasks, certainly in my area of the UK, quite rare and very infrequently found. It was predominantly the Pumpkaboo tasks that were being encountered and subsequently binned quite a lot over the first part of the event. But whilst we were in Germany, I actually did get a catch 10 Pokemon task and got a geotagged German with Cologne on the tag. A shiny.
Oh, what?
Smoliv.
Ian!
Shiny Smoliv, yes.
During the con day, I might add.
He had picked up about 5 minutes before Community Day started, and within minutes, obviously, caught 10. And it's nice. It's a beautiful little shiny, but unlike Whitfield, I can't flex getting the whole family in the space of an hour. I only got the one, but it was all that I needed. And in terms of the event, my general thoughts on it, quite disappointing, actually. I don't know, there just seemed to be something lacking, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but the shiny Smoliv was a nice sort of
You got the
nice
chase,
little
Ian.
memento of the trip to Germany.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Geotag.
Yeah.
German olive.
So,
Char.
quickly, going around the room, Marky, what would you give this event out of the magical 10?
I mean, it played out how it said it was going to play out on paper. It kind of met what I was expecting, a new shiny to chase, the opportunity to sort of get some more favourites attracted to Mossy Lures if you wanted to use them. So, for me, I wasn't disappointed from it. It didn't play out any different to how I thought it was going to play out. Like you said, I must have just got lucky on the research task. Really enjoyed it. I was playing it till the end. Wanted shiny Smoliv, obviously, brand new Pokemon. That'll stay out of events probably until it starts getting put into maybe Go Fest in the near future, maybe as a spawn. I'd give it a really, really, really solid 7. Something that made me want to put the game on, even though I've been sort of limited in my ability to play it so much over the last few days.
I think I'll echo that 7 out of 10 for it because it still had some good redeeming features about it. It's just a bit annoying that Smoliv sort of seemed to disappear from the early days of the event. It gives you a shiny chase. It's a good new shiny. It should, I'd say, theoretically come back right at the end of the season when there's going to be a wrap-up event. Having the Spol Hour conclude the event was quality. And if you didn't get your Pumpkaboo through the Halloween event, there was ample opportunity to try and get it now. So not the worst event by any means, but slightly above average.
Yeah, you've got a point. I do still feel that there was something missing.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something there. It just needed something else. The new shiny Smoliv, it's nice. Yes, Pumpkaboo boosted is nice. Snorlax coming off of Laws, yes, nice. But it needed something more. I did get the shiny Smoliv. I can't say I was able to partake in the Spotlight Hour because, as I've mentioned before, over the last 4 years, the job I do just kind of prohibits it. I don't actually get time to do that. I'm going to give it a 7, but that's just because of the German shiny. Realistically, I think it's a 6.
There we go. Points for German shiny.
Points for Germany.
Harvest Festival, and I would say it's time to harvest something else that's in competition with a very big German sausage.
We went a bit creative today. We took it away from Pokemon. How dare I for a week? But
Dangerous territory.
Dangerous territory of the boys. And this is the poll, I should say. Was that on our X platform? Please check it out for future episodes if you want to get involved in the poll. We do it every single week on the show. But this week, it was the boys have invented their own countries. Which of these would you like to live in the most? That's how I've phrased the question. A little inquisitive face and the globe next to it. So we had 41 people jump on the poll tonight.
That's better than last
All
week.
right.
That's a decent little number. In third place with 15% of the vote. Excellent.
Ah,
It marks the spot.
come on, people.
Yes, interesting there. 15% want to go to excellent.
So it's not that appetizing or intriguing then, is it really?
Well,
It's
you've
not.
obviously got a lot of Apple fans,
Swing and a miss, Ian. Swing and a miss.
so I'll be living in luxury.
Or maybe they thought it was like a country after the social media platform.
We'll find out, maybe in the replies.
We'll find out exactly. In second place with 32% of the vote, Apple Land.
Yeah, people want that green and present land.
Basically,
Which
they want
means
Mark's
we
lawn.
Which means 54% of the people, and I'll take that over half the vote. That's a nice little win there. I've picked Ruraltopia as their preferred destination. Some comments. Let's see what people have said. So I am Prius, but Pretoria.
Pretoria.
Oh, Pretoria, I should say. A little gif. Oh, funny that with Pete from Family Guy. Now, to be fair, it's a great. Well, I like that episode. Kerry Young has put Quiet Island, where it will be illegal to shout. And with how loud my children are, they'd be in jail and I'd finally get some peace. Amen. I like that. Sue Hermiston just put gratitudia. Only kind people with thankful hearts may become citizens. I might migrate over there, Sue, but you might have to be the gatekeeper to see if I'm worthy enough to join you over there. That's,
So who runs your immigration?
who runs your immigration, exactly. Mike Newcombs has put, surprised Walpole Land isn't an option.
Sounds a bit problematic.
Walpole Land.
Surely with Newcombs it'd be Greg's Land.
Greg's Land.
Greg's Land.
Crumbly Pastry Land.
No other patisseries allowed.
No, not at all. Lucy Davis has put, how about Android Land?
That'd just break, wouldn't it?
No, we'd be at war with that.
Lucy's also referenced last week's poll. Did I really say to meet Ant, Dick, and Milo? Goes and checks. Nope, just Ant and Dick. Mark, you cheeky thing. But yeah, I'd love to meet Milo.
But you can find him quite easily. He never leaves Ealing unless we actually travel for a community day.
Well, he resides in Walpole Land, Lucy. So there you go.
Yeah.
Find him out.
Come to Wild Area,
instead.
Lucy.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Drag Soul up with you as well if you're going to do it. Mr. Cool Cat Gaming, I like this, has put, don't want to be connected to Apple, tired of being rural, so I guess excellent. LOL. Dean Cooney has put, Apple Land, make great cider.
Yes.
I didn't necessarily say it was purely about the devices.
Take the win, Ian. Take the win. Take the positive.
Take the pint.
Wannabe archaeologist. That's our lad Oscar.
Yep.
Has put, I love Ruraltopia, but I think the Australia would probably win if it was on the poll.
Australia's a real country, though.
That's not made up.
Is it? Is it?
It's called Spider Town, isn't it?
That's Zoe. Was it made up?
Yeah. Apparently it's part of Europe for Eurovision, but anyway, stranger things have happened. Last couple, Chicken Chaser 89, good old Chicken Chaser, has put, being somewhat rural myself, I like the sound of Ruraltopia. Sounds like a place with lots of good food and weird animal races. Steady on. And then Mark Bailey's put, I went for excellent. I didn't fancy Apple's walled gardens. Whilst Ruraltopia sounds lovely, I suspect the internet may be ropey. It would have been my next choice.
True.
Semi-Ruraltopia probably would have sold it.
Semi-Ruraltopia.
You have to be fully in or out of it, unfortunately. That's my immigration procedure. And
you leave your electronics behind.
Leave your electronics behind.
Or are you out?
Absolutely. No electronic visas permitted to access Ruraltopia. So yeah, we love it when our listeners get involved.
100%.
It does make it fun, even with Milo's cat not on. Milo.
What?
My what? But no, that's very, very good. Now, we said it was going to be a non-news heavy show, and hopefully we've stuck true to our words. 197 is completed, and hopefully you have enjoyed listening to the show with us. We do encourage you to follow and subscribe on all the usual podcast platforms. We hope that will at least make it easier for you to have the next episode directed to your devices. It doesn't cost anything. We would love a review. Please do that. We've not had any reviews for a little while.
We have. When you say that, we have.
There you go. And the review is 1 star.
Imagine that. Oh, God.
Literally the worst thing my ears have ever had to endure.
So, well, that's Whitfield's review. This review is from Apple Podcasts in the UK. It's a 5-star review titled Popping the Incense. Never felt so good. And the review reads as follows. Without a doubt, one of my Sunday rituals is listening to Incensed podcast. As a 30-year-old Pokemon Go player, it's always nice to listen to a group of players with different life experiences and gameplay styles. The boys are great fun to listen to and play off each other really well. They also keep everyone involved who is listening and makes the show feel like a casual catch-up. Keep up the great work, and I will keep tuning in. And that is from R. Wilson 205 via Apple Podcasts.
R. Wilson.
Thank you so much.
I believe R. Wilson is a patron of ours.
I think he might be.
Yes. Well, thank you for the review.
Thank you so much. And just an update on the Spotify score. We are now at 341 reviews
9 more
on Spotify.
Can we get to 350 before episode 200?
200.
Ooh, double O. And we've still got a nice healthy 4.9 on the
that's
average
not
rating.
changing now.
So,
Yeah.
so thank you so very, very much. Please follow us across our social media platforms, which do include X. We do a lot during the show on X. We do also post onto Instagram as well at Incensed Podcast. If you want to be involved in our famous Shinies of the Week section, please use the aforementioned hashtag, Shinies of the Week. Another part we want to sort of spend a little bit of time is to thank our awesome Patreon members for taking your support to the next level. Patreon really does power the podcast. Without it, it would make it very difficult for us to continue to produce the show that we produce. I feel like I've got my cap in hand a little bit here, but we have been running this show now for 197 consecutive weeks. Creating podcasts is not a 5-minute job, and the power of Patreon, like I've said already, does enable us to do that. So thank you every member who is involved on our Patreon program, with levels starting at bronze, silver, and then gold. It does give you the opportunity to do what you can if you enjoy the show. A special mention does go to our Gold Patreon members. It really does make the difference. And our amazing members are JB, Clifford Mert, Kerry and Zachary, Barside 2, Mandy Croft, Mr. Mossam, and Dean DHL. As we go into the festive period, go on, give to Patreon to someone you love. Get them involved in our show. But no, thank you to everyone. It is great. And we've got a range of benefits on there. We do have the Discord platform, the Incensed Discord, opportunities for you to get involved in some of the sections of the show as well. So do get involved. You can try it out. Bronze and silver you can try for free before you commit to it. And the bronze Patreon tier starts at £1.50, isn't it, Ian?
Or the equivalent in your local currency.
So about 250 yen if you're in Japan. So go
Only
for
that.
it. Check it
Exchange
out.
rate, I guess.
That's very true. At the time of this show being recorded, it's probably slightly inaccurate. However, without our amazing admin team, we would not be kept in check. They really do keep us in line, and we do need it. We are
You
three.
need to tell us off a lot.
Yeah, we are three crazy individuals for the United Kingdom. You know, we are rebels in our own way. But no, thank you to Hermes Ninja, that is Sue, and I Am Pyrus for doing what you do. It really does make it. You are part of the team. And we've mentioned it before, the team will be united for the Wild Arena event, which is coming up very soon. So, yeah, chance to meet everybody. Come down.
It will literally be all 5 of us for Wild Area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yahtzee.
Yeah, good.
But there we go. Thank you for tuning in to listen. Have a great week.
Oh, good news.
What?
Well, we would usually say the next Tuesday, there's a spotlight hour. But brace yourselves, boys. I'm about to reel off a whole heap of
Verbal
stuff.
diarrhea.
So, we have Max Monday with Dynamax Drilber from 6 to 7 p.m. And following that, we have a Double Catch Dust Spotlight Hour featuring Combi and Teddy Ursa. Running alongside that, you have Nihiligo Raid Hour at exactly the same time slot. Then Wednesday, you have Tapu Koko Raid Hour, 6 to 7 p.m. your local time. Following that, it's Origin Form Dialga Raid Hour, 6 to 7 p.m. local time. And finally wrapping up with Origin Form Palkia on the Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. your local time. It's quite a full week, yeah.
Yeah, and on that chaotic diary-filling bombshell, we will see you all next week.
With a lot less coins.
I choose you!